Okay, so get this. What if I told you that a certain somebody, a certain former prez with a real knack for, shaking things up, just dropped a total bombshell.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
One that could rock the whole crypto world,
Yeah, lay it on me.
And that's just the first stop on today's deep dive.
Ooh, a deep dive. I like it.
We're going right into the crazy wild world of crypto news.
All right. Buckle up, everybody.
From legal battles to regulation changes that could seriously impact your digital wallet.
Yeah, this stuff can make or break.
But don't sweat it.
That's why we're here, right?
By the time we're done, you won't just get the headlines. You'll get the whole picture.
Yeah.
Like how it all fits together.
Yeah, the ripple effects.
Yeah, exactly.
The tremors.
The tremors. Yeah, ready to dive in.
Let's do it.
Okay, so first up, let's talk about this curveball, right?
Okay.
It's January 24th, 2025.
Recent news.
Yeah, and former President Trump, out of nowhere, drops this executive order all about, wait for it, crypto.
Troop and crypto. That's an interesting combo. So, what's the deal with this order? Pro-crypto, anti-crypto.
Well, that's the thing. It's kind of walking a tightrope.
Oh, how so?
It wants to make the U.S., like the big dog in digital assets.
World leader, right?
Yeah, but it also steers clear of like creating a central bank, digital currency.
Right. So no Fed coin just yet.
Exactly. It's pushing for some federal regulation, but it's also like real big on private sector innovation.
So not a complete government takeover, more like setting some ground rules and letting the market do its thing.
Yeah, pretty much. It's not just a pro crypto free for all. There's some nuance there.
Nuance is good. So what are some of the key points? Anything that really jumps out at you?
Well, like for instance, the order, it proposes this national digital asset stockpile.
A stockpile. Like a Fort Knox for Bitcoin.
Exactly. But then the big question is like, how would they even manage that?
Yeah, that's a huge question. And what would that mean for, monetary policy, the U.S. dollar? Lots of potential implications there.
Definitely opens up a whole new can of worms.
Ugh.
Okay, so moving on. Let's switch gears to something a little darker.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it.
Remember that story about the Ledger co-founder, David Balland, the one who was kidnapped in France?
Yeah, that was a horrible situation.
Well, it turns out part of the ransom, they paid it in cryptocurrency.
Really? So even with a crime like kidnapping, crypto's involved?
Yeah, and this is where it gets kind of tricky.
I bet. How so?
Crypto has this reputation of being, totally anonymous, but the authorities, they actually managed to track the ransom payment.
They did. So much for anonymity, huh?
Right, and it led to some arrests.
Wow. So this case really throws a wrench in the idea of crypto being untraceable.
Totally. It's a huge reminder that, yeah, the blockchain, it might be super secure, but there are weak points,
Definitely. Especially in how people use it, how they manage it.
Right. This whole case is like a flashing red light, especially for anyone who thinks, they can use crypto to move money under the radar.
A cautionary tale for sure.
Yeah.
It highlights the need for strong security measures, not just for individuals, but for the exchanges, the platforms, everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. So what can people do to protect themselves?
Well, the basics are key. Use secure wallets. Double check those addresses every single time. And watch out for those phishing scams. They're everywhere.
Good advice. Okay, so let's move on to something a little more upbeat.
All right, I could use some good news.
The SEC, they just made a big move. They reversed this crypto accounting rule.
Oh, yeah, the one that had a lot of companies up in arms.
Exactly. It was forcing them to report like all digital assets they were holding for clients as liabilities.
Which, yeah, wasn't exactly a popular move. I can see why they'd want to get rid of that.
Right, and this reversal, it could be huge, like a real turning point for institutional adoption.
Definitely. By easing up on the compliance stuff, they're making crypto more attractive to those big players.
Exactly. But it's not, all sunshine and rainbows either.
Right. There are always two sides to the coin. What are some of the concerns?
Well, there's some worry about like potential risks if companies aren't, required to be super transparent about their crypto holdings.
Transparency is key, especially in a market as volatile as crypto. So it's a trade-off. Potential benefits, but also some risks to keep an eye on.
Exactly. It's a balancing act, like most things in the crypto world.
That it is, a delicate balance.
Speaking of balancing acts, or maybe the lack thereof.
Uh-oh, what happened now?
Remember that whole TerraUSD and Luna debacle? That $40 billion crash?
Yeah, how could I forget? A lot of people lost a lot of money.
Well, Kwon, the founder of Terraform Labs, he's finally being extradited to the U.S.
Oh, wow. So he's going to face the music.
Yeah, and this case it's fascinating because it could set a really big legal precedent.
In what way?
Like, will developers be held personally accountable?
You mean for code that fails, for misleading investors?
Exactly. It could be a real turning point for accountability in the crypto space.
It's a big question, and the answer could have massive implications for the entire industry.
It definitely feels like, that move fast and break things attitude that early crypto kind of had. It's fading away.
Makes sense. With more money, more people involved, the stakes are higher, regulators are stepping in saying, hey, there are consequences.
Right, exactly. And that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Not at all. A little bit of regulation can bring some much-needed stability, some maturity to the market.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of regulation, we gotta talk about the crypto mom herself, Hester Peirce.
Ah, the legend. What's she up to now?
She's just been tapped to lead this task force.
Yeah.
Focusing on U.S. crypto regulations.
Interesting. So what does this mean for the future of crypto regulation in the U.S.?
Well, Peirce, she's known for being a real advocate for clear, balanced regulations.
Yeah, she's not about stifling innovation, more about finding that sweet spot.
Right, and her leadership on this task force, it could be a game changer.
Definitely. Could pave the way for a more predictable, a more supportive regulatory landscape for crypto in the U.S.
It definitely feels like we're at a crossroads. Like the wild west of crypto is starting to see some law and order come to town.
That's a good way to put it. A transition from chaos to hopefully something a bit more structured.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And as we've seen today, it's a complicated world.
It is. Full of competing interests, potential pitfalls, a whole lot of unknowns.
Right, but what's clear is that, the crypto world, it's changing fast.
That lightning speed. Staying informed is more important than ever.
Absolutely. So as you continue on your journey through the crypto cosmos, consider this.
Oh, I like this. Hit us with a final thought.
What aspects of all this rapid change are you most curious about?
Yeah, what are you going to be watching closely?
And what potential long-term consequences, good and bad, are we maybe overlooking?
What are the blind spots? What are we missing?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because the future of crypto, it's being written right now. And we're all part of the story.
We are indeed.
So stay tuned, folks. This is just the beginning.
And stay curious.
And stay curious.
We'll catch you next time.
See ya.